Good morning and welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here on Saturday morning, had our pancakes for breakfast and ready for some work down on the allotment today. Got a bit of a job. I got all the potatoes in last week, and they're all looking good. The first lilies I did 2 weeks ago in these first two beds. I've just had a little look around. I've noticed they're already starting to come up, little shoots in here. So I'm going to keep these covered up with the grass clippings, and I'll add to that. But yeah, it's good to see them starting to come up. I did come down and put our compost bin at home. We've got one of those sort of Dalek plastic ones. I come down and emptied that out onto this bed, the other bed. It's pretty well rotted. There's quite a lot of hay still in it from our rabbit and guinea pigs, but it's pretty good. I'll probably put a little bit of the topsoil on the top of it as well. But yeah, that just sort of covers it up a bit more, gives it a bit more depth. So yeah, they're doing really well. Good to see them start coming out, and the rest of the plot is looking good. The leeks are starting to make a bit of a fight back. These were in from last season. I guess I planted them last sort of spring. But yeah, they're all growing really well. So I'm hoping I might actually get some leeks out of those this year. I thought they were all sort of done. But what I will do is probably sow some more leeks in between the rows. So it'll give me sort of 3 or 4 rows of leeks for next winter. So I'm going to do that either today or another day this week. So that's good to see them growing. Over the back here, chard is doing really well. We've got 2 big beds at home of this as well, and we've been using it a lot. But I'm going to have to find some ways to preserve it, I think, because we've got way too much at the moment. And I don't know whether to reuse this bed, pull it out and reuse it as something else, as we've got some at home. But yeah, either way at the moment it's doing really well. And the onions are making a bit of a fight back as well, with a bit of warm weather. Last week was really warm. It seems to have cooled off again this week. It's quite cold again this week. Back to cold weather. But yeah, they're doing well. And the garlic, I think, are the big sort of success this winter. They've really come on, especially that last week of warm weather has really given them a boost. And they're certainly looking much better than they did the ones we had in last year. So I'm really hopeful for a good crop of those this year. I've got both of the beds going. And the ones I transplanted from the self-sets from the other side are doing well. They still look happy, so that's good. At home, the strawberries are sort of all coming into flower. The ones here, I can't see any on the ones here yet, although they're obviously quite a bit smaller plants because I transplanted them. But yeah, the ones at home are certainly looking like they're starting to get ready to flower and grow some fruit. And the raspberries are doing really well. It's amazing how quickly they all grow at this time of year. You've just given a tiny bit of sunlight. And the kids' peas continue to do well. But look, the second row hasn't come up yet, but the first row still look good. And I've got a load of peas at home. I really need to get out in pots, but I need to go and get some canes to put them up first. Yeah, the other thing I did put some of our homemade compost on the rest of this Three Sisters bed as well. So I filled up the last sort of third with that compost. So that's currently all got homemade compost on it and manure. So hopefully that's going to be a really good bed this year. And I did find, while digging around, there is a rhubarb plant over in this messy corner. So I'm having to think about whether I want to move that somewhere, or if I leave it there and try and make a space for it, give it some space to grow. But yeah, so that's good. always like to have more rhubarb. So today I'm sort of in a bit of a lull between getting the potatoes in and getting everything else in. Probably got a couple of weeks until I plant all the things I've got growing at home out, all the squash and pumpkins and sweet corn. So I managed to go and get some soil improver this week. Our camper's back on the road, so I managed to get up there and get our boxes full of soil improver. And what I was going to do while I've got a couple of weeks before I get planting, I was going to sort out this area. So last weekend, when I had a bit of spare time, I moved all the wood. There was a pile of wood here, all the offcuts and things that I was using for building beds. So I moved all of that. Just put it over by the water butt for now until I can get a proper sort out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and move this old compost bin. So I need to empty it first, and that can just go in the compost on the site, the big site, because it's all quite sort of hard clay soil, and yeah, it's not very good. So we'll get rid of that. And I'll clear up, I'll get rid of this lino, and I might try and move these bricks somewhere. I'll find somewhere to put them. I might just pile them up neatly in the corner or something. And what I wanted to do is use this area for a sunflower bed. So I'm either going to use some of the bricks to go along the front just to make a bed, or see if I've got any wood. I might just use the bricks, because it's just sort of a temporary bed. Get it going. I haven't really decided what else I'm going to do with that space going forwards. So yeah, I'll just do that, and I'll put that soil improver down, just a thin layer. And I've got over here, last year at home we grew giant sunflowers, and they did really well. And I saved the seeds from all of them, and there was thousands of seeds. So I got these bags, and I had about at least 6 of these bags, I think. And there's so many seeds, it's nuts. We've given away loads. We've got more going this year, and with the ones at home we've got going already sprouting, so I know they're good seeds. They'll grow nicely. So I brought those down, and I'll try and sow them all over here, and we'll just have a nice big block of nice big yellow sunflowers. And they're against the wall, so they won't block a light out for anything. They should be good. Nice bit of colour on the plot. Yeah, so sort of big job is moving all these wood, get us sort of nailed together, all this bin. So I need to get all that taken apart and find somewhere to put the pallets until I can use them. I want to use them next year, but I haven't got the space yet. So yeah, I'll get that all taken apart, clean up some of the edges, cut some of those bushes back a bit, and yeah, just make a sort of rough bed there for the sunflowers. I've dug out all that soil from that big compost bin, all the big chunks. A lot of it at the bottom is actually okay, so I'm going to rake that out over the space. The bit at the bottom looks like it's been there quite a long time, so it's composted down okay. I've pulled out the pallets, and I've just put them by the shed for now. I'm going to use them for a new compost bin next year. I've just stored them away. Yeah, so that space is pretty much cleared. So the next thing I'm going to do is pull out these bricks, and I'm just going to make a line across the front. I'm not going to make it too deep. I'm going to leave a bit of space here, so we've got space to do stuff, store boxes, whatever. I'll probably just do it in line with the end of this bed, across there. That's probably 2 meters by 4 or 5 meters, so it's actually a huge space. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a single line of bricks across there, I think, in a line, and I'll rake that soil out and put the soil improver on top. Should make a nice flower bed for now. I'm not really sure. In the future I might do something else with this space. I might make some beds there or something, but this year I've got sort of run out of wood, so I can't really do any more raised beds. Yeah, I'm getting near to everything going in, so it'd be nice to have some sunflowers up here, and it'll clear up this space. It's already lightened up this space quite a lot actually, taking out all that sort of big wood. I did also cut off the top one of those. There was too high of these wood. I just cut the top one off because it's not retaining anything. It's not really doing anything, and it's just sort of an ugly bit of old wood. So got rid of that. Yeah, so I'm going to sort out my bricks, get all those lined up, and we can get some soil on there. Hopefully that'll clear up that space. And then another day I'll get some more bark and just lay in front of it here, just to make it look nice and tidy. And I've still got to do the paths between these beds. So maybe this week I'll go run up and get some bark chips, and we can finish off these bits, get it a bit more presentable. But yeah, that's my next bit. I've laid out the bricks along the front. I just used a plank just to get a roughly straight edge, and I've put some down the side as well just to retain the soil a little bit. I put a few of the sort of rough stones along the back, just to they should be pretty much hidden by the soil, but just to stop them going up against that fencing and rotting that. So that's the space sort of ready to rake out. In the corner I've just piled up the bricks for now. I'm going to decide what to do. I'm going to have to think about what to do with this sort of corner. I'm probably going to dig up that rhubarb and move it somewhere, maybe take it home, but we've got 2 rhubarb plants in our front garden, so I might take that to put with them. Never seem to have enough rhubarb, so that's always welcome. And that tree looks like it's doing quite well, so it'd be nice to leave that there. At some point I might just put some bark on there just to tidy it up for now, and then maybe we can plant some bulbs there or something in the autumn. Yeah, so that's the sort of bulk of the lifting stuff done. So I'm just going to get the rake and just I'll pull out these bits of grass, rake out the bottom of that compost, and then I can pile on the soil improver, and that'll give us a rough bed for our sunflowers. I've got all the compost raked out and all the soil improver on the top. So that's really nice actually. It really tidens up this corner of the plot. And it's actually made me realise how big a space that actually is. So yeah, definitely thinking future next year of what we could do with that space. If we got some more wood, we could make another good couple of beds there. But this is a good bed to get going with this year. So yeah, I'm going to get the sunflower seeds in. I did have a thought while I was raking that out. I wonder if anyone runs anything underneath sunflowers, because these varieties they got to sort of 7-8 foot plus tall, so there's plenty of light under them. So I would be tempted, if I've got some spare pumpkins or butternut squash, I would be tempted to plant 2 or 3 under there and see if they can sort of wind their way around underneath. Give me a bit more space for those sort of big long vines that travel everywhere. But yeah, just a thought. So I'm going to get the seeds, and I'm going to put quite a lot in and see how they take off. I can always pull out them if they're competing, if there's too many. Yeah, so I'll put quite a lot in, and we'll see what comes up. We can always pull a few out. We've got plenty of spare seeds. Got all the seeds in and watered them in, given them a really good water. So hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks time we'll start seeing some seedlings coming up. I have got some going at home in pots as well, just in case the little mice and voles and things eat all our seeds. Not enough to fill this bed, but at least some to put in if needed. So that's that bed done for this year. Definitely gonna have a think about if I can get some pumpkins and things going underneath it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've got another few weeks into May before we start getting those out. So that's probably it for today down the plot. I'm just gonna water some of these garlic and onions. I don't think we'd sort of forecast much rain, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but yeah, not a great deal. So I'm just trying to keep the soil a little bit moist. Just don't want it all to dry out when it's ready for planting. But yeah, it's a nice project done. Really pleased with how much better that looks now. Was sort of the really messy corner with all that wood piled up there. I mean, there's still a bit in that corner that I'm going to build. I'm going to build sort of a little table or something out of that, a little place we can put our cooker on and stuff when we're down here in the autumn cooking sweet corn and stuff. But that's a longer term project, and I've still got a little bit of rubbish behind the compost heap and that, but that's a lot of the bits of the woods that still might be useful, but one day I'll go through it and get rid of what I don't need. So next week or so, I'll probably go and get some more soil improver, trying to get as much in as I can before plants start going in some of these beds. I want to put a little bit on here. It's going to take a lot to cover that. It's probably going to take, I don't know, at least 10 boxes, probably 15, just to put a little covering on it really. But yeah, we'll do what we can, put a bit on. And I also want to keep on top of the potatoes as they come up with, some of it will be grass clippings, but I've only got so much lawn I can cut. So some of it will be topsoil if I can. Just try and keep on top of them so they don't get any green ones. Yeah, I hope you're having a nice weekend and keeping well. I enjoyed seeing probably the last thing I can do, the last building sort of thing I can do this year. Yeah, getting the final prep for getting all the plants in. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching that this week and seeing a bit more progress. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those sunflowers coming up. And yeah, look forward to talking to you next week.